Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. That'll be a 4v4, right? No, actually a 3v3, my bad. On Calais Battery Revamped. Let's go through the players, shall we? It's the first game of the newest hotfix, so I've lost a lot of potential replays simply because there's been that many hotfixes, but I guess that's just the cycle you go through when things break in an update, so we'll live with it. Representing the Commonwealth today, we have Mattcasting as Royal Armored with Hammer Specialization. You also have Spency McGee as Royal Commando with Anvil Specialization. And finally, Blockmaster as Royal Tank Regiment with Hammer Specialization. Representing the Germans, Triple Waffen SS, we have Nubby Gops without a commander choice. We have Teams without a commander choice. Finally, Stockler Mulvey, the main developer of Spearhead 2 mod, without a commander choice. Guess they'll pick their stuff after seeing what the British are doing. So this is like Calais Battery, but it's just got a few changes, mostly around the center here, most of it. A lot of side blockers and cover have been removed. Overall, fascinating little few changes. Makes it a little bit more open with a lot more light cover around. I don't think these sappers are going to get far. Those Storm Pioneers can get some good shots in. Yeah, already taking down 2 of the sappers there. 3 of the sappers. I don't underestimate Storm Pioneers. They can be very potent if they get into a good position early. Sappers up here engaging with the rest of the Waffen-SS. Trying to get behind some cover. Rifle sections coming up here now for Spency McGee. Using the MG or the cool Waffen as a support platform for their Storm Pioneers. As still more infantry sections are showing up. Yeah, not really a fight the infantry sections want to be in, I think. We also have a commander choice for some of them. At least for the one in the center here for teams. Looks like it is the Panzerjäger. Yep, Panzerjäger tactics. And immediately going straight for some Panzerjäger Grenadiers. Or well, some 17 SS Grenadiers. A cheaper unit you can get if you're playing SS Panzerjäger. So you don't have to rely entirely on just Sturm Grenadiers. When the infantry sections are slowly getting cut to pieces. Good idea from the British to try and get another flank though. But I think so far the Waffen-SS is winning these long-range engagements. Definitely looks that way. You know, the Royal Armored is fighting down here. Looks like they did declude the Kugelwaffen on this flank. Because the British do have something of an advantage now. But don't underestimate the British. They are very potent early game with their rifles. Well, that's not good now. They got suppressed. Vickers K setting up, well, not Vickers K, just Vickers machine gun setting up inside the train station. But there's a side blocker here. The SS Grenadiers moving up the road now to try and get close to those rifle sections that are suppressed. They might have to pull back, and there they go. So for the British have not been able to get much of a head start here, but they do hold their most important points. So they're not falling behind resource-wise. Well, mostly. The Axis is still getting ahead by a fair amount by controlling the entire central parts of the points. Very risky move for those rifle sections. Oh, good job with the sappers on there to try to flank at this angle, but the Germans are already covering it. Just trying to push up through the center. But I think the commando section is not really formed up fully yet. That's in my forward assembly, and they do have a Vickers machine gun. That might be a dead rifle section. Yeah, rifle section goes down. Vickers now setting up. So the Germans keep digging in. Good to see. No command choice shit for the northern flank. Only the center flank seems to have picked the commander. Smoke grenades also got changed now to not just pop out their smoke. They apparently now fizzle it out. So that's a nice little graphical change.
Ready to set up artillery and air support.
Gustav's gonna get cut down there to pieces quickly. By these SS Grenadier. Yeah, you don't want to start building one out of fire. You get easier to hit if you're doing it. Big push from the British. They're trying to push back. Using the Vickers. You also have a universal carrier here. Going to do some self-repair. I think that Baker's machine gun team might be in trouble. Because the Storm Grenadiers here are with LMG 42s behind heavy cover, so they will be able to fire it out, I think. Well, they did get suppressed though.
Ready to roll.
On the southern flank, the British also tried to push down here. NT-34 start pointing at the right direction here, which might give the British the headway they needed. Do have a Panzerbüchse, so this university carrier might be in trouble. Yeah, one shot and the gunner is killed.
Ready for orders.
But the Germans have to pull back.
Set up a new forward base. Infantry squads are ready to conduct all-out assaults with air support.
Blinkorb going out. Just gonna buy the Germans some time. And we have double Vickers now here for the British. There's a lot of machine gun fire coming down range here at the Germans. Oh, they reinforced from the universal carrier. Very smart. As I keep forgetting, it's a transport, so you can actually do that with it. Very useful little ability to have.
Be advised, self-destruct initiated. We're ready to move.
Let's see, the Germans still have not picked most of their commanders. Oh, we do have a Panzer Tactics pick there for Stockholm Mulvey. I recognize that by the E symbol of the 1st SS. And the Brits are pushing up with their machine guns bit by bit. I don't think the Germans have the infantry to hold this at the moment. Especially with the 2nd Universal Carrier coming with a lieutenant. And capped to this point while inside the Universal Carrier. But it's definitely showing off their armored potential here, I guess. On the southern flank, we just have a lot of rifle sections also just boosting it out here.
Carrier ready to move on.
Hansi is waiting. They were waiting for this Wasp to show. Nice, they got the driver. And then also the gunner at the same time, apparently.
Enemy squad
So that thing is actually stuck. How it's still technically crewed, I have no idea. That seems like a little bit of an oversight. Probably on Relic's part.
Go ahead. Ready for orders. Ready for battle. You have orders.
But the Brits have secured some territory here now. And I like the fact that they pop into the Universal Carrier to capture the points. As people underestimate how armored the Universal Carrier actually is. Like, the fact they can stop some armor-piercing bullets is actually pretty handy. Especially at long range. You know, the Mthis is just forming up in the center using mortars. Smoke shells going out. So we have a commando lieutenant on the field, setting up a commando for the encampment. But the Germans might be prepared to push. The Royal Armored is having issues moving up further now because of an NG-34 inside this building. We have a pack arriving here, Pack 38 arriving for the Panzer Division. Gonna help them form up a little bit of an anti-tank defense. One big push here coming in from the Germans, using Gewalterladungs from the 17th SS. Oh, that's not good. The commanders have been completely overrun, using their lieutenant and most of the other units here.
Position is being attacked.
Rifle sections have to relocate quickly to try and stop this. It's just in silent stun guns, which I don't think is going to do much at the longest range. That's a better position to be in. Throwing a grenade. Good grenade at that, actually. That's going to force the Germans off. Water still threatening the British positions, however. Universal Carrier moving up here quickly. Anti-tank rifle going out. Actually manages to hit it. And kills the gunner. Ooh, yeah, that's a dead Wasp, I think. It's still able to drive. There we go, they got it. Took a little bit, but they got it. We're also destroying that Vickers K position before it gets built. Brits not been doing too well in the center, but they are pushing up on the other flanks. Using a lot of their tenacity.
Command Hauptrat has been converted into the headquarters building.
There's still an instant smoke grenade from the British. That's actually a very useful grenade to have. The fact that it explodes on impact rather than timing up.
Ready for action.
Like 38 is keeping an eye on the front. The British are prepared to move in with their universal carriers, but not when there's attack 38, I think. Don't want to drive into that. That will take them out in one shot. Pretty sure. They get spotted. Oh, they get spotted. But they dodge it. They dodge it. Oh, they're getting around the flank now.
Go ahead. Ready for orders. Ready to deploy.
Attack 38 turning. That might be a dead universal carrier. That goes.
We've just
Everyone's jumping out quick. And a second shot for good measure. Oh, we have the free French resistance. Oh, the French resistance battle group has been called. That's cool to see. Not sure how useful it'll be in a frontline fight, but it's cool to have them. I guess we have the local resistance fighting here alongside the British. Well, I think this resistance squad has to pull back. They are a 6-man squad though, so they have one extra man. Makes them stand out a little bit. But it's cool to see. I guess Spencer McGee might be liable a little bit more on the resistance now because they lost a lot of the other units. The smoke shells keep coming in here from the German mortar. Die Granatwerfer. Looks like the 17th SS is going to push here with a Gebatterladung. I don't think the British are prepared for this. They're not. They're going to die. And that's the power of the Gebatterladung through smoke. Oh, they've not been replenished. To get behind cover. Well, they are getting some good shots in on that Grenadier, though. That's actually a dead Grenadier. I do also do like that the French resistance have a variety of models, including some women. That's a very nice touch. Using a lot of the I believe, both civilian as well as partisan models from the vanilla game. But we also have some 30th Assault Commandos, which should not be out in the open like that. There's only 3 of them. That's a very costly squad for a free man. He's gonna survive. He survives. Yeah, you don't want to lose a squad like that so quickly. French resistance has gotten like great assaults, very nice. You know, the Germans are pushing on the southern flank, looks like not begots when Sturm, so we have a commander for all of the Germans now. That's a lot of assault weaponry suddenly appearing alongside some stormtroopers. As they slowly push back the British, but the British Vickers are setting up. Smoke grenades going out here from the Germans. As you can see, the smoke now fizzles out of the smoke grenades. Very cool to see. Hans Borgier arriving. The northern flank, it seems like it's quieted down a bit. As the Brits have called in the Australians. Ah, cool. I'm rarely get to see the Australian battle group. People usually go for the New Zealanders. Most because I think the New Zealanders arrive with a Churchill. But the Australians are cool to see. I appreciate it. More battle groups, visuality is always a good idea. I'd like to see the battle groups, add some more variety to the battles. Yeah, I lost a fair few replays because of all the bug fixes that had to be done, but that's just how life is. Ooh, rifle grenade missed. Lots of smoke along the front line. We're just going to allow the Germans to try and take the point here. That means that's flares arriving, okay. Australians are pushing up, probably not the best position for them to be in. Throwing a Mills bomb, but oh, the Sturm Grenadiers got mowed down in seconds as the smoke started clearing. We have an Aufklar running around here in the fields, or crawling around. And the Germans still threatening this commando position, whereas the French resistance, they're still around as well, trying to help job the front line. And we'll have the Panzer on the southern flank here, but it's running into Quick Pounder. Well, what's it called? Quick firing? 6 Pounder. That's what it's called, I think. Not good with the British naming stuff.
Cromwell gun tank
Also, it doesn't matter. I cannot see the whole name because of the abilities that the way on the observer mode. The Australians have pulled back by the looks of it. Oh, rifle section on north here is getting trouble. Oh, Blitzer trying to help show up the front line. Because Universal Carrier setting up here with his sprint gun. Germans are quickly rushing to try and grab the Pack 38. But I think the Universal Carrier can just focus it down. Oh, one more burst! Not in time though!
A universal carrier has been knocked
Very
out.
good play there from the Germans, but that pack needs to be replenished immediately.
Task complete. We're ready
So the
to
Germans are pushing up through the center here quite aggressively. Finding the Granatwerfer, they lost apparently, probably to a counter barrage. The re-landing looks like it's going to be smoke shells. Because of Shermans arriving. Quite a bunch of Shermans arriving here for the 17th First. Quite an unusual thing to see on the German side, but the Germans did use a lot of captured equipment. Well, I'm not sure how often they use Shermans, to be honest. I think they mostly use captured Soviet equipment. I think it was a little bit hard to get their hands on the Shermans until the Battle of the Bulge, and I suppose it could be after the Battle of the Bulge. Never know. Panzer 48 battle group moving down here. They have to deal with a Cromwell. This is the Cromwell 4, so it doesn't have the high armor. It's going to get a lot of high armor with the Cromwell 5 retrofit. So far this helping support though and force the Panzer 4 force to pull back briefly. There we go, it's got its increased armor now.
ready for action.
It's going to make it a lot more impressive in long-range engagements, but it's still lacking the penetrative power to push through the Panzer IVs. Oh, the Panzer IV penetrated the Cromwell at max range. That's a rare sight, especially with the upgrade. And the Germans are slowly creeping back against the British on the northern flank. Here's the Beute Panzers. Who hitting the French resistance with a high explosive shell. More French resistance members have been called in. Being upgraded with an MG42 apparently. It's got to get a lot of German equipment because they're resistance members. 6 Pounder's doing his best here. But it was not designed to fight Germans evidently. Oh, something penetrated. Because the 6 Pounder can do something. Now the southern flank, the Panzer IV is still fighting. Cromwell and 6 Pounder pushing up against them. They're slowly just creeping further and further back. This Cromwell's being very risky though. Another Sherman arriving. Putting high explosive on the AT gun. Killing most of the crew. Sherman's pushing in now for the kill. He decrewed it. I think the French resistance has to pick that up quick.
I'm afraid, quite dead.
They need to reman that AT gun. Oh, it's not going well there.
The forward position is under attack.
Yeah, no one is picking up the AT gun. Like we have a fuel drop in the base for the British Armoured, or with British Royal Tank. 17 SS Grenadiers are pushing up down the flank. They're trying to get closer to full command loading on the base, I think. But they're being cut down as they attempted. Yeah, the resistance is still holding on. The resistance does have a composite beef that can get close enough. Which I think the Sherman realizes. We also have a Sherman Mark 5 now riding for the British to help supplement the front line. Little British/French resistance here. And on the northern flank here, we have the... Actually, it couldn't be the French resistance if this is after the Battle of the Bulge, just thinking about it. So they remanned the AT gun finally. You have the Cromwell Mark 5 to try and supplement up here.
Trained and ready to go.
Oh, that Sherman almost got taken out. You have more Panzer IV J's arriving on the southern flank. So we have a full-on battle group coming this way here for the Mthis.
Sensor anti-aircraft tank ready.
Brits are trying to show up with the AT guns and everything. Good to see all the smoke being utilized. That's a very good sign of tactical play. We also have the New Zealanders called in finally. Arriving in a half-track. Because the Australians couldn't cut it. Oh, good shot there from the AT gun. Now the advantage the British have here is that the PAs don't have high explosive shells. So the infantry is a little bit safe for a while. Still, this is machine guns galore on the Panzer IV's front. So, still a problem. Oh, good shot from the Cromwell. AT gun got cleared. Second AT gun has arrived.
Tank guns is gone.
Like 40 also sitting up. But the British do have an idea of what's going on thanks to their Recce team. They can see what the Germans are doing. And we have some smoke artillery going up here in the center. Well, north, I mean, not the center. The center is firmly in German hands. French resistance with some British support is definitely having some trouble holding the center.
Weapon crew lost.
Ooh, also trying to deploy our Grace, goes into the half-track. Only damages the half-track. Doesn't damage the New Zealanders. But it gets taken out by a Pagar as the smoke clears. Panzer IV J is trying to go on a wide flank. Cromwell is being stunned, but AT managed to take out the Panzer IV. Firefly being prepared by one of the British players in the southern flank. We have armored fights going on both flanks. Well, not really much armor on the northern flank yet. But it's probably going to happen soon. Oh! One New Zealander squad got hit by a mortar. Ooh, that's going to hurt. Germans are still pushing up with their Beuter Panzers. What does he think is annoying? Did I miss something?
Standing by. Send orders.
I guess I missed something. Huh. Yeah, the Panzer IV J's are definitely having trouble. Ooh, and the AT team did not really last long there. Getting cut down pretty damn rapidly. From the boys' AT rifle. Grabbed here quickly by the French resistance. Yeah, and the Beuter Panzer Germans is just causing trouble. The British is just lacking AT equipment and needs to be relocated quick to cover this flank. Firefly has arrived though on the southern flank. Priest also coming up. AT gun trying to do its best here. But I don't think the French resistance with British support can hold forever like this. They're losing a lot of squads. Oh, they were just attempting to do a self-destruct there. I guess they decided against it for now. Panzer IV J's are pushing up again. Now they have to deal with a Firefly though. Oh, didn't penetrate! That's a lucky Panzer IV J right there. Oh, there we go. One more shot from an AT gun kills it. The central British flank is completely collapsing under the weight of the German onslaught. Yeah, the Beuter Panzer is just providing too much support here.
Position is being attacked.
Not looking good at all. You know, the northern flank. Oh, we have a Comet coming out here for the British, which should be a little bit better now because they've reworked it a lot. Like including that you can toggle between using normal AP shells and APDS shells now with the Comets. Which is a very interesting thing, which might make it a very good tank killer over long distance. It does reduce damage though if it has APDS. But it does have much higher penetration, and it's immediately switching to it. It is like 60% more penetration at long range. It's absolutely a very good shell. We'll need to see how it does. It should be able to chew straight through Germans. Yeah, that's a good penetration right there, injuring the driver. Remember though, it does have a reduced damage when it's using those shells, but that doesn't really matter there. Comet already showing itself as being a very good weapon for dealing with enemy tanks. So good to see the Comet has gotten this change. It really needed something, I think. We do see a Jagdtiger coming out here for the Germans in the center, so going a little bit overboard with anti-tank equipment, I guess. And now that the British armor is arriving en masse, I suppose it's a smart idea. Doom tactics suffered a lot of losses. Cromwell here in the flank. It's about to flank this Panzer 48. Oh, no penetration through the bush. Well, hedgerow. Oh, penetration for the Panzer 4 though. Looks like both tanks are backing off. After a brief little scuffle. There's some tanks push up again. You have a second Comet arriving. The French resistance is pushing up again here. Oh, looks like there's no model for the French resistance if they are using a Boyce AT rifle. Ah, fascinating. I suppose there was never a model for the civilian to be able to wear that weapon. Wield that weapon, so that's probably the issue. Or Australians called in here in the Universal Carrier to supplement the arrival of the Comets. The SS Panzerdivision has not really got a lot of panzers yet, they're just digging in. Southern flank, we have the Panzer 4 chase again. Oh, good shit there from the Firefly, killing the crew of one tank. Gonna get it abandoned and bare. German Mark 5 ramming here for the center flank. This one has not been equipped with APDS yet. APDS yet. And the Universal Carrier got killed though. Lots of anti-tank on the front line for the Germans, so they are prepared. They're called in to try and prevent the Brits from pushing up. That's smoke actually, never mind. Well, Cromwell tries to push in from the flank, but the Germans are keeping an eye on it. Cromwell's pushing back for repairs. Up on flank, we have several Fireflies arriving here for the Royal Armoured. I don't think the Storm Tactics is prepared for this. They've got the Stuk. And we have the Jagdtiger arriving as well. 17 as Panzer Grenadiers also on the field, good to see. Comets just sitting around, looks like the other one has switched to APDS as well. But Comet about to arrive, because there's no longer a cap on Comets, by the way. So it's actually a very potent medium tank you can get late game. Especially with this chance to the APDS.
Marksman trained and awaiting a target.
Let's see. On the Universal Carrier taken out, however. For Universal Carriers, they don't really have that long survivability.
Ready for orders.
Especially late game. Jagdpanzer also coming out for the Panzerjägers. You have a Tiger tank with veterancy 3 arriving, so it looks like stuck waiting for the Kampfkraft Center and went straight for full veterancy before getting the Tiger tank. So they basically arrive with a Tiger Ace. That can be quite potent, but I'm not sure how well the Comets are going to do against that now when they have APDS. You might actually be able to shoot straight through it.
That's a 4 battle group on standby.
This APDS shield should not be underestimated at all.
Send orders!
Some types of civil armor pieces. Looks like that centaur was taken out.
Fire! Yard Tiger ready. Relay orders!
Fireflies are just waiting.
Dismount!
Nope, one Panzer 40. That was a Stuk actually. Stuk gets taken out.
Lost. Comet, ready to move out.
Tiger tank revealing itself here. The Comets are not intending on brawling yet. Oh, good shot of that AT gun! Bending the gun and the Tiger. Let's get back for repairs briefly. He'll be back soon, however. Comets are pushing him while they have the chance, but there's still AT guns. Ooh, and the Comets are pushing up very aggressively.
The gun is not crude. Not anymore.
And the Comet needs to be cautious though, they're pushing into a lot of AT guns. Although the frontal armor of the Comet is helping by the looks of it. Because of the Cromwell pushing up here. The Tiger's almost ready, however.
The enemy have destroyed an engineer section.
Cromwell taken out on the flank alongside the Sappers. Comets are still brawling. But they're not really getting any kills with the APDS against infantry. They have to pull back again, I suppose. They didn't take any losses though, apart from that Cromwell and the engineer section. Oh, one penetration on one Comet though. The Comet really proved it had some potential there. Tiger tank is pushing up. Ooh, Comet's gonna try and get shots in. Tiger tank takes out one. Oh, these Comets need to be very careful with their positioning against the Tiger. So on flank, the fight continues. Looks like there's been diversion of some forces to supplement the south. Because the center is somewhat held. Anti-strike on the Commander Lieutenant, apparently. Tiger tank pushing up here. Comets going in for a shot. Doesn't hit. Yeah, the APDS doesn't matter if you can't even hit your target. So far, the Comets have been able to get a good shot in. Firefly still in reserve back here. The infantry has been taken out by the priest bit by bit. Oh, the priest sexton, my bad. This looks very similar. It's not a priest, it's a sexton. The British thing, not an American thing. Explosive loaded here by the Tiger. Aiming for this machine gun, probably. Oh, Comet's got in with a shot. Penetrated, but didn't do a lot of damage, as we would knew. Doesn't hit with the second shot. Puff smoke and backs off. The APDS is basically just a higher chance to penetrate, but lower damage, so... It is good if you can get prolonged shots in without taking shots yourself, I imagine. But like the chance of you actually killing them very fast is very much lower. Still, it's a cool idea behind this shell, so... I guess the British a little bit more of a different playstyle if they use the APDS. Jagdpanzer driving up here. Oh, that's not a lot of stuff here that could beat a Jagdpanzer, I think. Takes out the engine of that Sherman Beutepanzer. All these causes to burn. Jagdpanzer not penetrating. That's a lucky Sherman, but it's going to penetrate this shot. Yeah. Just as the other Sherman gets taken out as well. We have a Cromwell stuck down here. Panzerjäger's coming up on it. Takes it out with a Panzerstrike. Artillery called in this part of the front line. Third Comet arriving to replace. Just some mortar shells. Still keeps an eye on this part of the flank. The British in the center is still just trying to do their best with the French resistance. Not doing a lot of movements yet. Command pulls back to repairs after taking a shot from something, probably a pack. Oh, Commentary gets taken out by the Tiger.
Blasted swines just knocked out a vehicle.
That 88mm is still dangerous as always. They can actually make them a Tiger Ace now, by the way, which is a unique upgrade for vehicles they're playing as SS Panzer. That allows them to decapture points. You can like drive them up to be like the front line and decapture points, basically. What ability is that? Something just activated. I have no idea what. Was that close to target? I was close to target, which doesn't really matter because they're not cut off. You need to be cut off before close to target really matters, I think. Ooh, double 80 on here. Ooh, Stuck taken out. Yak Tiger moving up at that. Probably not the best weapon in this situation for now. Tiger Tank moving up here, leading the way. Comments are penetrating somewhat. But they get each taken out by one shot by the 88. Ooh, Stormtroopers getting close here. Throwing a Kabata down inside the building. And... oh, the building did not get destroyed. Tiger Tank moving up again. Oh, this is the second Tiger, by the way. The fact that they're both veteran C3 is just so powerful with the Kampfkraft Center. Don't underestimate the Kampfkraft Center. It can really just make a battle go in your favor when you get some of your late game units. As they arrive as veterans. Even just getting some early game replacements, because they'll also arrive as veterans if you upgrade the right things. Stormtroopers pushing up here with their Sturmgewehr. Yeah, it's not looking good for Blockmaster now that Dr. Mulvey has gotten all these Tiger tanks. Yeah, veteran Tigers on the move, destroying everything in their path, including the comets. Ooh, got penetrated there by an AT gun. That Tiger has to pull back, I think. Oh, these guys do catch a Panzerfausts. And they get off. Kills the gun of the Tiger, but not much else. Excuse me. Flamethrower going in on the base on this Fort HQ now. That's going to prevent it from being around. Jagd Panzers threatening the front line of the southern British flank. Explosive loaded overshots. Destroys the cover though. And the high frontal armor of the Yak Panzer is very hard to pierce. We have a lot of Fireflies down here though. We also have Howards now being set by the Sturm Tactics. We also have the Sturm Tiger on the field. I completely missed that. Let's see how it turns out. He's probably waiting to spot the Fireflies before firing. Oh no, it's firing already. There it goes. Ooh. Got right behind the British front line, destroying their fortifications somewhat. That's gonna force the AT guns to pull back. It was a B. Yeah, the Jagd Tiger doesn't care about any of the shots going through it, and now with the British frontline weakened, the German infantry is pushing up. The Tiger tanks have done their job. They've cleared out much of the British defenses, and now the German counterattack begins in fullest. Yeah, I think the British are gonna be in crisis mode for a while. The northern flank, they've lost practically everything.
Line's been cut.
There's a lot of veteran German infantry now. I imagine Dr. Mulvey still using the Kampfkraft Center. Yeah, they have slowly done some upgrades. Jagd Tiger's trying to push upwards here. One Firefly did go down to it. It's gonna be hard even for the Fireflies to deal with a Jagd Tiger frontally. I think this is the most heavily armored unit friendly in the game. Even more friendly armor than the King Tiger. Although the King Tiger is a tank. This is a tank destroyer. Big difference. Looks like it's doing APCR. Okay. Oh, it's gonna try and take shots at the Fireflies. Oh, they lost their driver! And we have rockets going in, doesn't do anything. Fortunately, there's no deflection, right? Deflection animation for the tulips. Driver's been replaced. We have the capture Panzer IV coming in here from the French resistance. Doing a heat shield, doesn't do anything. Firefly's doing their best to brawl with the Jagdtiger, but it's not doing anything. Panzer IV is also keeping the Fireflies at bay. Tiger is ready to fire again. Yeah, I don't think the British and the French resistance has what it takes here. Especially with the Tiger tanks pushing from the north here and Stockholm scavenging all the wrecks. Getting a lot of fuel to work with. Overall, good to see people using their faction mechanics. But a comment has arrived though, and we've gotten so far into the battle. We have double music playing now. I don't think this comment wants to be in this fight. Does penetrate, destroys one gun. It's gonna force the Tigers to back off for a bit. If we can get a shot on the other Tiger. Gonna attempt it. Doesn't penetrate. Tiger's firing down here in the southern flank. It's an infantry section. Was probably aiming for that Panzer IV. Still more Fireflies has arrived. But the Jagdtiger is just gonna keep a dominating eye over the southern battlefield, I think. Tiger pulling back for some reloading. Tiger still holding up on here and being repaired. I think the northern flank of the British is slowly just completely collapsing.
Ready for action. Ready for orders.
Lots of wrecks down here, and also lots of wrecks up in the north that has been mostly been scavenged. Medic bunker and a maintenance bunker, I think. No, forward HQ bunker, actually. So both things are being set up here by the Panzers. This is trying to secure some other points, though. The center is actually left relatively unguarded at the moment. That's a lot of Fireflies. Artillery shells just landing around the southern flank. Tiger tank pushing this way now. Oh, that's a Panther actually, my bad. Not a Command Panther, but Veteran CV Panther. Which has more frontal armor than the Tiger, but the P still penetrates! It's going out. Oh, and Panther down! Ooh, that's a sudden loss there for the Germans. But I think it's not much of a problem, they still have double Tiger. Fireflies need to be very cautious with this thing around. Oh, 80 guns forgot a penetration. The 80 guns actually penetrating quite reliably, but high explosive kills them. Oh, the Firefly's gonna try and go for it. No. Stormtiger's also firing. Ah, it looks like he cancelled it. Trying to decide where it would be best utilized. French resistance is pushing back these stormtroopers. Tiger tanks are slowly creeping up with some Storm Grenadier support. Oh, P at sides are doing some pretty good shots in. Bombenwerfer getting close though. Hammond's pushing around. They waste their shots on the infantry! Oh, that sucks. Penetration on one Tiger. No penetration from the Tiger. Oh, Commons are gonna keep pushing. They are penetrating reliably, but the Tigers can just kill them with one penetration each.
A Comet tank has been put out of action.
Yeah, the Tiger tank is just so powerful if it's utilized correctly. I have a Bracket team coming up, but I think the Germans do have some recon. They do, but it's back there. They're showing up for the second defensive line in case they get pushed back. Good to see. You generally want to have layers of defenses. So if you push back, you don't lose everything immediately. Sexton is still trying to do its best. Several Sextons, actually. Oh, the Alpha class pushing up. They might spot the Recade team. Yeah, they got spotted. And gets killed by the marksman, apparently.
Unfortunately, we've lost a unit.
Ready for orders.
Ooh, not looking good here for the British at all.
Orders complete.
Attack Panzer IV is still around doing its thing. We also have a sniper team here from the commandos called in, but I'm not sure the commandos can help them much at the moment. And they're lacking in munitions. Tiger tank is pushing up. And the British really need to do something to push through here, but I'm not sure what they can do. As fighting a Jagdtiger frontally is not a wise plan. There's nobody has support from other vehicles like other Jagdpanzers. It'll just chew through everything that comes their way. Oh, this poor German. Oh, Panzer IV got a penetrating shot though. Oh, and the Panzer IV actually gets the Jagdtiger. Oh, not the Jagdtiger, the Jagdpanzer, my bad. Tiger tank pushing up here, train stations are on fire. AT got in a ditch, trying to hold them back.
Prepare for action.
Too much, the Germans are still covering some of the flank here. Somewhat. Oh, the Sextons still kill all the infantry and try to support the vehicles though. And more houses being set up by the Sturm tactics. Try and supplement. Ah, because their houses being shot up by the British howitzers. Okay.
Ready to move out.
Well, looks like the Fireflies might attempt something now. They need to decide on something.
Stand ready.
Because they don't have long left, I think. Because the northern flank is still on the verge of collapse.
Stand by, crew.
Another Panther coming up here for the northern flank. Stormtroopers are now pushing up here for the Germans.
Let's move.
Yahtzee pushing up here for a shot. Looks like the Firefly will dodge it.
Wellington's fine.
A capture point is being overrun.
Black Panther's also pushing up.
At your service.
Ooh, that's a... Black Panther's back up immediately. Ooh, stuff like that happens. Jagdtiger pushing up, very aggressively here, it's going for that Firefly. Sexton gets a shot in though, killing the gunner, or injuring the gunner rather. French resistance, Panzer IV still trying to do its best to supplement. Doom T opening fire. Come on, there we go. Ooh, takes out two Fireflies in the Sapper squad. Ooh. Not looking good there at all.
Ready for orders.
French Panzer IV is pushing upwards. Doing a heat shield, which you don't want to use against infantry, but... never mind, it killed them! Don't listen to me! Don't listen to me! Maybe the Tiger tanks are pushing up, but they're taking some big shots here. Thomas gets taken out. Looks like both Tiger tanks will get out of there alive though. We also have the Pan for moving up here on this flank again. remember the Panther does have higher frontal armor than the Tiger, so just always remember that. So I think the Panther is generally just a better tank in certain aspects. But he also got the Panzer Ace upgrade, so he can actually decap to points. Fireflies have shored up the front line down here again. But Jagdtiger is now pushing up with some supports. I don't think the Fireflies want this fight. They cannot even range in on the Jagdtiger. Oh, they're gonna try for it. I guess they have no other choice at this point. Yeah, Firefly's taken out. At this point, the British surrender. I don't think there's any point to really argue that that was a correct choice to make at this point. The Germans start to overman them with their sheer amount of heavy armor they got in. I hope you all enjoyed this match, and I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Bye bye!